Let me say something to you in a way you have probably never heard it before. The greatest barrier between you and the wealth you wish to enjoy is not outside you. It is not the market. It is not your education. It is not your surroundings. It is you and your own understanding of your worth. Wealth obeys a very simple principle. It responds to the person who knows deep in his soul that he is worthy of it, that it belongs in his hands just as much as it belonged in the hands of the greatest innovators, the greatest industrialists, the greatest creators. There is no special material in their soul that you lack. There is no unique ability in their mind that you do not possess. There is only a difference in their self-perception, in their own conviction of their worth, and this conviction transforms everything. Your own opinion of yourself forms a kind of mold, a mental form into which all future abundance must flow. If you view yourself as small, weak, undeserving, then the flow will be small. If you view yourself as powerful, purposeful, destined for great things, then the flow will match that form. It will rush in inexorably to fill the dimensions you have defined. This is a universal law. Whatever you hold in your mind about yourself, whatever you deeply believe you are, will manifest in your conditions. That is not a motivational cliche. It is a literal principle of causation. Your beliefs are the first cause. Your conditions are the eventual effects. So when I say, when you know your worth, wealth responds, this is precisely what I mean. Your worth sets the scale and the flow of what you can attract. Most people pursue wealth backwards. They chase it externally, swapping their time, their energy, their health, in the hope that it will come back to them in the form of financial abundance. But this view disregards the most powerful form of attraction, which is internal. It disregards the role of the mind in shaping what we experience. The rich first become rich in their own thinking. They resolve their doubts, their smallness, their scarcity, and then the physical conditions reflect their new internal state. So we must start there. We must resolve within ourselves the question of worth. Who am I? What do I believe I deserve? How much abundance can I handle? If your answers to these questions are weak, unsure, or filled with doubts, then your results will reflect that. But if you answer them with confidence, if you say, I am worthy, I am a person of immense value, I deserve abundance because I create value, then your conditions will follow. This is not a form of wishful thinking, it is a form of decisive thinking. It is choosing to view yourself in the highest light, regardless of past disappointments or doubts. It is choosing to align your self-perception with universal abundance. It is choosing to raise your own ceiling of expectation, because the universe is rich. It is filled with opportunity, with resources, with possibilities, but it will not force those resources upon a mind that believes it is poor. It will match its delivery to your own view of your worth. If you say, I am not enough, I am powerless, I am small, then it will reflect back smallness. But if you say, I am abundant, I am powerful, I am worthy, then it will respond in kind. So your first task is to destroy all the small, weak, doubting thoughts you have about yourself, to conquer them, to clear them from your mental garden, to weed them out and make space for a new crop of powerful beliefs. Beliefs about your own ability to produce, to innovate, to contribute, beliefs about your own destiny. This cannot be a casual process. It must be deliberate, persistent, and purposeful. Each day you must affirm your own worth. Each day you must visualize your future self, rich, purposeful, valuable, and allow that picture to seep into your subconscious. The subconscious is the medium through which your beliefs become your reality. Whatever it accepts as true, it will manifest in your experience. So you must feed it a rich diet of affirmation, visualization, and conviction. Say it aloud to yourself. I am worthy of great wealth. I am valuable. My service is worth much. My contribution matters. Say it when you wake in the morning and when you lie down at night. Say it during your struggles. Say it when doubts arise. Say it until it settles into your soul. This is not ignoring reality. It is choosing a new reality. It is choosing to become the person you were meant to be, to step into your power, to realize your potential. When you do this, when you know your worth, something remarkable happens. Your confidence increases. Your creativity expands. Your ability to solve problems grows. Your discipline strengthens. Your patience deepens. Your perseverance hardens. All these qualities were already within you. You simply hadn't called upon them. But now you do, because you realize you are worth it. This transformation must come from within. It cannot be manufactured externally. It cannot be borrowed from someone else's opinion. It must be cultivated in your own mind, in your own soul. That is the hard, purposeful, daily work of choosing who you are and what you will become. Once you do it, everything starts to align in your favor. The people you need will appear. The resources you require will show up. The opportunities you were blind to will become visible. The struggles you previously avoided will become the very stepping stones to your success. Why? Because your internal view has shifted. Your worth has gone up, and the world is reflecting it back to you. This is a key principle to remember. The world always responds to the signals you send it. If you carry the feeling of scarcity, it will reflect scarcity back. If you carry the feeling of abundance, it will reflect abundance back. The feeling, the conviction comes first. The conditions follow. So from this moment forward, resolve to view yourself through the highest, clearest, most powerful view you can. See yourself as already rich, rich in ability, rich in service, rich in creativity. See yourself as already valuable, a person whose greatest asset is not a degree or a piece of paper, but the ability to solve problems and to add value to the lives of others. This view will transform you. It will align you with opportunity. It will prepare you to handle greater responsibilities, greater resources, greater influence. It will make you a match for the wealth you wish to attract. Because you do not pursue wealth, you become the person who naturally attracts it. Your worth is the key. The moment you realize it, fully realize it, you will find that the doors you thought were closed will fly open, that the people you need will be drawn toward you, that the resources you require will become available, that the obstacles you feared will diminish in power, not because the world has gotten easier, but because you have gotten stronger. So I say to you now, do not wait for your conditions to change first. Change yourself first. Raise your view of your own worth. Develop a deep, unshakable conviction that you deserve to enjoy abundance, not by accident, not by privilege, but by the universal principle that when you know your worth, wealth responds. This is the starting point. Everything else flows from here. Your discipline, your creativity, your persistence, all these grow naturally once you resolve this in your mind. So resolve it now. Say it with me. I am worthy of abundance. I am valuable. I am powerful. The world responds to my worth. Say it until you believe it. Say it until you feel it. Say it until you become it. Because when you know your worth, the universe has no choice but to respond in kind. Your worth is not a static number. It is a growing, expanding reality, provided you nourish it. The moment you decided you were worthy, you opened a path forward. But that path must be walked. It must be lived. It must be demonstrated through action. Your view of your own worth must permeate everything you do. Because when you carry a deep conviction of your own value, you do not undermine it with weak choices. You do not ignore opportunities. You do not withdraw when challenged. Your decisions reflect your worth. Your discipline reflects your worth. Your patience reflects your worth. This is what transforms your future, not a dramatic overnight change, but a daily, deliberate honoring of your true value. Each small decision, honoring your discipline instead of temptation, honoring your goals instead of distractions, compounds. It signals to your subconscious mind that you are serious, that you truly believe you are worthy of more. Your subconscious then converts this conviction into momentum. It starts to filter your surroundings through a new, rich, purposeful view. Your mind finds opportunities you previously missed. Your imagination begins to produce solutions where you previously saw obstacles. Your will strengthens and your confidence deepens. This is the true power of a man who knows his worth. His mind is no longer a collection of doubts and anxieties. It becomes a powerful force for manifestation. So you must be vigilant. The greatest danger to your progress is not external resistance, it is internal regression, a return to your old view of yourself. Your doubts will arise. Your doubts will say, who are you to do this? Who are you to pursue something greater? But you must respond immediately and decisively. Say back, who am I not to? Who am I not to become more? Who am I not to realize my greatest potential? The greatest tragedy is not trying and failing. It is never trying at all. Your worth demands expression. It cannot lie hidden and inactive within you. It must be demonstrated in your choices, your discipline, your persistence. That is how you grow into the person you were meant to be. So today, resolve to act in harmony with your worth. Take the hard action instead of the comfortable one. Push forward when your doubts say quit. Develop habits that reflect a rich view of yourself, reading books instead of consuming distractions, planning instead of reacting, honoring your goals instead of pleasing temporary desires. Every action is a vote for or against your future. Whatever you do repeatedly, whatever you practice daily, that is what you become. So choosing actions that reflect your worth transforms you from the inside out. This discipline is not punishment. It is liberation. It sets you free from your own doubts, your own weaknesses, your own small view of yourself. It lets you grow into the person you were meant to be. See yourself in this light. See the discipline as a tool, a powerful tool for honoring your potential. Say this to yourself, I do hard things because I know I am worth it. I discipline myself because I respect myself. I pursue my goals not to become worthy, but because I already am. This view will empower you to conquer obstacles that previously seemed insurmountable. It will allow you to produce results that previously seemed impossible, because your ability to achieve is directly tied to your view of your own worth. If you believe you are small, you will act small and produce small results. If you believe you are large, valuable, powerful, destined for great things, then you will act in a way that brings those results into manifestation. Your view of yourself is the greatest leverage you have in this world. It controls your choices, your discipline, your patience, your creativity, everything. That is why I say if you're struggling to succeed, the most powerful change you can make is to raise your view of your own worth. See yourself not as weak and flawed, but as a powerful, purposeful, valuable person in the process of growing into your greatest self. Your future depends on this view. Your discipline depends on this view. Your ability to attract opportunities depends on this view. And when you align your view with your true worth, a transformation occurs. Your goals become non-negotiable. Your discipline becomes effortless. Your patience expands. Your creativity skyrockets. Your influence grows. Your resources multiply. Your whole life starts to reflect this new view. This is how a man transforms himself from ordinary to extraordinary, not by a dramatic overnight change, but by a deep internal shift in how he sees himself and then honoring that view through daily choices. So you must be relentless in protecting this view. Anything or anyone that doubts it, messages from media, from people around you, from your own doubts, must be removed from your environment. Feed your mind with messages of power, ability, discipline, and abundance. Surround yourself with people who reflect this view back to you. This is not indulgence, this is necessity. Your view of yourself forms your future. So be careful, be purposeful, be protective. Repeat this affirmation daily. I am worthy of success. I am valuable. I am powerful. I attract abundance because I align myself with it. I discipline myself because I respect myself. I pursue my goals because I know I am meant for more. Say it with conviction. Say it repeatedly. Say it until it is more true to you than your doubts. Say it until it guides your choices. Your future depends on this. Your ability to realize your potential depends on this. Your happiness depends on this. So you must pursue it with everything you have. Because when you know your worth, the universe responds. It finds a match in your confidence, in your discipline, in your perseverance. It starts opening doors, sending people, adding resources, not by accident, but in direct response to your own transformation. This is a universal principle. It operates for everyone, rich or poor, young or old, educated or not. Whatever you believe you are worth, whatever you carry in your soul, that is what you will manifest in your surroundings. So raise your view, lift your eyes, expand your self-perception, see yourself as the person you wish to become. Begin honoring that view today. Small choices made in service to that view will produce large results. Your greatest power lies in your ability to redefine yourself, to break from your past and become whatever you resolve to become. That ability starts now. It starts in your own mind. It starts by honoring your worth. So resolve this today. You are not your doubts. You are not your struggles. You are not your failures. You are someone meant for more, someone destined to grow, to conquer, to contribute. Your future depends on honoring this view. Your discipline depends on honoring this view. Your success depends on honoring this view. So from this moment forward, let your view reflect your true worth. Because when you know your worth, wealth responds. Your view of your own worth is not a feeling, it is a decision. It is a way of seeing yourself and your future that guides all your choices. If you wish to attract greater wealth, greater opportunity, greater success, you must first resolve this within yourself. Your future will reflect it. Your discipline will reflect it. Your surroundings will reflect it. Everything is a mirror of your own view. So you must be careful and intentional about this view. It must be strong, clear, and non-negotiable. The greatest people who have walked this earth, the innovators, the conquerors, the contributors, were not doubting their worth. They were decisive about it. They believed in their ability to affect their own future, and their discipline flowed from that conviction. This is true regardless of your background. Whatever your starting point, you can raise your view of yourself and change your future. But you must do it deliberately, daily, consistent, unyielding. Your doubts will come. Your past will whisper. Your surroundings will reflect your former view back at you. But you must learn to respond not in weakness, but in power. Say to yourself, I know my worth. I know my ability. I know my future is not dictated by my past. I create it through discipline, service, and persistence. This affirmation must become your anchor, your center, your true north, because when your view is anchored in worth, your discipline becomes effortless. Your patience expands. Your creativity finds expression. Your perseverance hardens into resolve. This is how ordinary men become extraordinary. They simply realize their own worth and then act in harmony with it. Your view of your own worth guides all your choices, what you pursue, what you ignore, what you delay, what you conquer. It guides your discipline whether you avoid temptation or indulge it. It guides your patience whether you stay the course or become discouraged. It guides your creativity whether you solve problems or withdraw from them. It guides your persistence whether you quit at the first hurdle or push through all obstacles. So when you resolve this view, you resolve everything else. Your discipline, patience, creativity, and persistence become the instruments through which your true worth expresses itself in the world. This is a universal principle. It cannot fail. If you align your view of yourself with the greatest possibilities within you, then you will act to bring those possibilities into form. Your surroundings will reflect back your discipline. Your opportunities will reflect back your patience. Your achievements will reflect back your creativity and persistence. It all starts from within. Therefore, you must treat your view of yourself as your greatest asset. It must be cultivated, maintained, and defended against all doubt. Anything or anyone who would undermine it must be removed from your circle, not in malice, but in service of your mission. Your mission is not a small thing. It is the fulfillment of your greatest potential. It is the delivery of your greatest service to the world. That service cannot come from a small view of yourself. It can only come from a view that you were made for something more, something unique, something profoundly valuable. Therefore, you must learn to affirm this daily. Repeat it in your mind. Speak it aloud when doubts arise. See it in your imagination. Picture yourself already living from that view, acting decisively, thinking creatively, honoring discipline, extending patience, and persevering through all obstacles. This practice is not fluff. It is powerful conditioning. It is the process by which you align your subconscious beliefs with your conscious goals. And when that happens, everything in your world starts to move in your direction, not by magic, but by the principle of correspondence. Your outer world always corresponds to your inner view. This means you have the power to affect your future by choosing your view today. Your discipline will match it. Your patience will match it. Your creativity will match it. Your perseverance will match it. Your surroundings will match it. Your opportunities will match it. Your achievements will match it. This is the greatest power you have, the power to redefine yourself, and by doing so, redefine your future. So resolve today to view yourself in the highest light, not ego, not vanity, but power. Power to serve, power to grow, power to conquer. See yourself as someone destined for greater things. See yourself as valuable, unique, filled with ability. This view will illuminate your path forward and keep you from straying even when the way is hard. It will serve as a compass when obstacles arise, guiding you back to your greatest purpose. Your struggles will diminish in power once you realize you are not battling the world. You are battling your view of yourself. Change that view and you will conquer all. Your doubts will fade. Your discipline will grow. Your patience will deepen. Your creativity will flourish. Your perseverance will harden into resolve. Your future will reflect this transformation, because when you know your worth, the universe responds. So I say to you now, resolve this view. Say it to yourself again and again until it settles into your soul. I am worthy of success. I am valuable. I am powerful. My discipline, patience, creativity, and perseverance will reflect this. My future will reflect this. The universe will respond in kind. Repeat it when you wake in the morning. Repeat it when you lie down at night. Repeat it when doubts arise, when obstacles appear, when the path grows dark. Repeat it until it becomes your dominant view, your automatic view, your baseline view of yourself. Then watch. The moment it settles, your discipline will become effortless. Your patience will become a deep well of peace. Your creativity will become a powerful stream of solutions. Your perseverance will become a force that cannot be stopped. Your future will align with this view, not because you demanded it, but because you chose it. Your surroundings will reflect back to you what you already know about yourself. Your relationships will reflect back to you your own worth. Your income will reflect back to you your own view of your service. Your achievements will reflect back to you your own discipline and perseverance. This is the greatest transformation you can undergo. Not a change in the world, but a change in yourself. And when you change yourself, the world must follow. Because when you know your worth, wealth responds. Your future is not dictated by your past. It is dictated by your view of your own potential. So raise that view. See yourself as a person meant for more. See yourself as someone who will conquer obstacles, learn from failures, grow through struggles, and emerge taller, greater, more powerful. See yourself honoring discipline, patience, creativity, perseverance, not because you must, but because you choose to. This view will carry you forward. It will illuminate your path. It will empower you to become what you were meant to be. So resolve today, once and for all, to view yourself through the highest, clearest, most powerful view you can, because when you know your worth, everything responds. Your discipline, your patience, your creativity, your perseverance, your future, your destiny, it all falls into place effortlessly once you realize this eternal principle. Your greatest transformation starts now. Your greatest future starts now. Your greatest view starts now. Because when you know your worth, wealth responds. Every man desires success, but very few prepare for it. Fewer still earn it, and only a rare breed becomes it. Success is not something you stumble upon, nor is it something granted by fortune. Success is a byproduct, a harvest of the laws you obey, the thoughts you entertain, and the principles you apply. If you are to rise and not merely exist, you must learn to identify the signs that you are aligned with these eternal truths. Because when you are doing the right things, in the right way, at the right rhythm, life begins to respond. Circumstance bends. People listen. Doors open. And all of this without noise, because greatness is never loud. There are 5 actions that, when done daily, will not just put you on the path to success, they will place you on the fast track. These are not habits you try, they are laws you live. These are not suggestions for improvement, they are requirements for ascension. And if you are doing them consistently, with clarity and conviction, you are no longer drifting. You are accelerating. You are not waiting to arrive, you are becoming. The first of these laws is clarity of purpose. Not the kind of purpose that sounds good on paper, but the kind that burns in your bones. If you cannot define what you are building, then you are not building anything at all. You may be working, you may be busy, you may be sweating, but you are not constructing a legacy. The man on the fast track knows with exact detail what he is building and why. He does not stumble out of bed. He launches into his day guided by his aim like a ship fixed on the North Star. Purpose is power because it simplifies decision. It silences noise. It removes the temptation of distraction. A man with a purpose does not ask whether or not he should act. He acts because his vision demands it. When you can state your purpose in one clear sentence, when that sentence is felt in your chest, when it shapes your choices, conversations, and calendar, then you have left the realm of dreaming and entered the dimension of building. You must revisit your purpose daily. It must not collect dust. Speak it aloud. Write it out. Walk it out. Burn it into your subconscious until it becomes the compass of your entire identity. You must organize your life around it, or life will scatter your efforts in 1,000 directions. Purpose must not be a feeling, it must become a structure. The second indicator that you are traveling at speed is mastery of discipline. Understand me clearly. Nothing destroys potential faster than inconsistency. You can be gifted, intelligent, even inspired, but if you are not consistent, you will be forgotten. Discipline is not about punishment. It is not about suffering. It is about honor. The man who honors his word to himself becomes trustworthy in the eyes of the world. The man who says, I will, and does, he becomes inevitable. Discipline is not an act of the body, it is a function of the mind. When your mind rules your actions, you are free. But when your emotions rule your decisions, you are a prisoner to impulse. The disciplined man builds a schedule that supports his purpose. He does not allow the day to dictate his behavior. He does not operate on feeling, he operates on system. Your habits are your identity in motion. If your habits reflect purpose, you will move like a man possessed. You will not need motivation. You will have momentum. You will not hope to succeed. You will expect it, because your actions are aligned with the very laws that create it. Build rituals that demand your greatness. Train your body. Sharpen your mind. Guard your mornings. Review your evenings. Protect your attention like treasure. Remove the small compromises that rob you of strength. Say no often. Say yes only when it serves the vision. Live by a code so strong that even in your weakest hour it holds you upright. The third force that guarantees your rapid rise is mental direction. Every day your mind is at work, whether you direct it or not. The average man lets his thoughts drift. He absorbs the opinions of others. He entertains doubt. He allows fear to speak, and he wonders why he feels powerless. But the man who is moving fast leads his thoughts. He does not allow the first idea to be the final one. He questions it, refines it, replaces it if necessary. He begins the day with intention. He rehearses his aim. He affirms his value. He visualizes his victories. He takes the raw material of mind and sculpts it into vision. What you dwell upon becomes your direction. If you dwell on limitation, you live in hesitation. If you dwell on problems, you become reactive. But if you dwell on purpose, strength, courage, and possibility, then your thoughts become fuel. They ignite action. They build certainty. This is not blind optimism. It is strategic thinking. You must learn to think like the man you are becoming, not the man you have been. You must speak the language of victory before the battle is won. You must carry the posture of confidence before the world applauds. Because success does not come to those who wait, it comes to those who already believe. Write your thoughts. Rewrite them. Challenge them. Repeat them. Fill your mind with truth until doubt becomes a foreign voice. Because what you think, you will eventually speak. What you speak, you will act upon. What you act upon, you will become. The fourth proof that you are living at velocity is consistent execution. Not bursts, not sprints, not flashes of excellence, but daily, deliberate, disciplined output. The man on the fast track is not waiting for the perfect moment. He is creating moments through execution. He does not need to feel inspired. He has structured his life to deliver results regardless of emotion. He tracks his work. He honors his deadlines. He eliminates excuses before they can take root. He finishes what he starts. He does not chase perfection, he chases progress. He understands that imperfect action done consistently will always outperform perfect inaction built on delay. Execution is the great equalizer. It does not care where you come from, what you've lost, or how late you started. It rewards the man who moves, evaluates, adapts, and moves again. You must make it your identity to ship the work. Not to talk about what you plan to do, but to show the world what you've already done. You must learn to execute like a machine and reflect like a philosopher. That is the blend of greatness. Do the work, then improve the system. Then do it again, faster, sharper, better. That rhythm becomes unstoppable. And finally, the fifth law that seals your momentum is faith in the invisible. Not blind faith, but disciplined belief in the laws that govern success. The man who executes with faith does not wait for results to feel progress. He trusts the process. He knows that if the structure is right, the outcome will come. Faith is the bridge between patience and persistence. It is the belief that if you do the right thing in the right way for the right reason, life will yield. Not always immediately, but inevitably. Faith allows you to continue building when feedback is quiet. It allows you to keep climbing when the summit is still beyond the clouds. Faith is not emotion, it is a decision. You decide to believe that your efforts matter. You decide to believe that your discipline will pay. You decide to believe that the laws you are obeying will eventually reward you. This belief gives you staying power. It removes the panic from setbacks. It silences the noise of criticism. It protects your vision from doubt. And most of all, it keeps your feet moving when most would stop. When you combine these 5 elements, clarity of purpose, mastery of discipline, mental direction, consistent execution, and faith in the invisible, you do not become lucky. You become unshakable. You stop hoping for success. You command it, not by force, but by alignment, because success is not a finish line. It is a result of obedience to principle. And the faster you align, the faster life opens. Once a man aligns his life with purpose, discipline, thought, execution, and faith, something remarkable begins to happen. His environment responds. People notice his silence, his steadiness, the way he carries himself without apology. He no longer speaks to prove. His life speaks for him. His time no longer drifts, it strikes. His vision no longer fades, it sharpens. His habits are not acts of willpower anymore, they are expressions of identity. That is the moment when the fast track stops feeling like a grind and starts becoming a calling. You realize you're no longer forcing yourself to do these 5 things. You are simply living them, and that living becomes your leverage. With purpose clear, your mornings change. You do not wake up and wonder what to do. You already know. Your calendar reflects your commitment. Your energy is invested, not spent. You begin the day not in reaction, but in dominion. You lead your time like a king commands a court. And because of this, chaos cannot enter. You've structured your life so tightly around your purpose that there's no room for confusion. There's only motion. What's more, you begin to protect your inner world as if it were a sacred city. You don't allow random thoughts to linger. You no longer tolerate fear dressed as wisdom. You dismiss the distractions not with anger, but with indifference. You simply have no time to entertain thoughts that do not build your future. This is mental dominance, not in theory, but in practice. You understand that your mind is a garden and your thoughts are seeds. Every day you are planting. And if you're not planting intentionally, weeds are growing by default. So you cultivate your inner speech. You speak life, power, clarity. You do not lie to yourself, you lead yourself. And as the inner voice sharpens, the outer world starts to match it. Now, something even more powerful takes place. You begin to rebuild your reputation with yourself. You keep your promises. You follow through. You set the goal and hit it not because of pressure, but because of principle. And slowly, confidence stops being an act. It becomes evidence. You are no longer motivated. You are moved by system. Every block of focused time adds up. Every act of discipline builds momentum. You are compounding results at a rate that surprises even you. But it is not luck, it is math. Structure plus repetition equals acceleration. But here's what most don't expect. With this speed comes new pressure. You are now ahead of those around you. Your silence convicts their noise. Your results make their excuses feel heavier. And some will not cheer. Some will distance themselves. Some will whisper that you've changed. And they're right. You have changed. But hear me clearly. Not all separation is loss. Sometimes distance is evolution. The man on the fast track must learn to bless the past without returning to it. You cannot carry everyone, and you cannot apologize for your acceleration. You're not rising to prove, you're rising to fulfill. Let your life become the lesson. Let your standards speak louder than explanation. The world doesn't need another loud talker. It needs a living demonstration. And that demonstration must be protected at all costs. That means recommitting every single day. You do not coast on yesterday's discipline. You do not rest on last week's routine. You wake up and earn the standard again. Not because you're behind, but because excellence is never owned, it is rented, and rent is due daily. You reinforce your purpose not because you forgot it, but because repetition is power. You guard your attention not because you're weak, but because you're too focused to be careless. You train your body not for appearance, but because it is the engine of your purpose. You study not to impress, but to sharpen. This is what it means to live fast by principle. You are no longer playing the game, you are designing the field. And yet you must also grow in your ability to hold success, because many men can achieve quickly, but few can sustain what they build. Rapid progress is dangerous in the hands of the undisciplined. It creates a false sense of permanence. But you know better. You understand that what you build fast must be fortified with even greater strength. This is where deeper discipline is born. The discipline of expansion, the discipline of delegation, the discipline of saying no, not just to failure, but to good things that would weaken your greatness. Because now, your execution must scale. You must move from one-man effort to systemized impact. You are no longer building for ego, you are building for legacy. That means revisiting everything. Does your daily structure still serve your evolving purpose? Are your habits still worthy of the man you are becoming? Are your thoughts still aligned with your next level, or are they stuck in old victories? You must keep refining, because the fast track is not a highway, it's a climb. Each level demands a more focused, more structured, more strategic version of you. And that version does not emerge by chance. He emerges by choice. So you continue. You execute even faster, but with precision. You review your weeks, not to feel good, but to find inefficiencies. You track your inputs. You measure your outputs. You get honest about what is essential. And you delete ruthlessly. You are no longer a man who works hard. You are a man who works aligned. That alignment becomes effortless. You know what your mornings demand. You know which people bring clarity and which bring confusion. You recognize the patterns of excellence and you repeat them again and again and again. And now something magical happens. You begin to see the future before it arrives. Not because you are prophetic, but because your patterns are so precise that your outcomes are predictable. You know the cost of distraction before it lands. You feel the momentum dip before results drop. You sense the next move before the world catches up. This is mastery. This is what most call intuition, but what we know is the product of structure. You are operating with such congruence that life bends to meet you, and not because it owes you, but because you've finally stopped resisting the laws that govern it. You've made success inevitable because you've made obedience automatic. And so now your faith shifts. It matures. You no longer believe you will succeed. You know you will, because your life proves it daily. And that knowing creates peace. Not laziness, not arrogance, but peace, the deep, calm confidence of a man who is what he says. You begin to love the process, not because it's exciting, but because it's clean. You find beauty in repetition. You feel alive in the order. You smile in silence, knowing that your results are not far. They are on schedule. That faith makes you unshakable. You walk slower, but you move faster. You speak less, but your words land heavier. You expect more, but you carry it lighter, because everything inside of you is finally moving in the same direction. This is what happens when the 5 principles are not tasks, but truths you embody. When you are rooted in purpose, time, mind, action, and faith, not as ideas, but as core behaviors, you become rare. You become the man others want to emulate but cannot explain. You become the example without asking to be. You become the proof that it is possible. And that, more than anything, is the responsibility you now carry. Because now it's no longer about your results, it's about the ripple you create. The way your family looks at you differently. The way your circle starts to elevate their own standards. The way your consistency becomes permission for others to believe again. You've become a builder of expectation. Not because you shout about your progress, but because your silence is built on evidence. This is the fast track. And the further you walk it, the more you realize it was never about speed. It was always about alignment. Because when you are aligned with truth, with order, with discipline and thought, you do not need to chase. You attract. You do not need to push. You pull with gravity. You do not need to prove. You simply exist as the result. And nothing is more powerful than a man who exists as the embodiment of what others only preach. That is what you are becoming. Stay with it. Hold the line. Refine the rhythm. Because the reward is not success. The reward is who you become by obeying these laws without breaking. Now that your life is governed by these 5 principles, you begin to see clearly what was once blurred. Where others see barriers, you see blueprints. Where they hesitate, you move. And while they calculate reasons to pause, you are calculating what must be done next. This is the essence of acceleration, not luck, not urgency, but alignment with law. You are no longer wondering whether you are on the right path. You are paving it. And because of that, success stops being a question of if and becomes a function of when. That shift in posture from uncertain seeker to grounded builder is the most critical transformation a man can undergo. You no longer chase outcomes. You live by structure, and structure carries you forward like a current. Let us now solidify these 5 principles, not as tasks, but as layers of your identity. Let them no longer live on paper, but in your bloodstream. Your purpose must now become your filter. Every offer, every connection, every opportunity that crosses your path must be measured against the metric of your definite major aim. If it weakens your rhythm, if it clouds your clarity, if it pulls your energy into things you did not plan, it must go ruthlessly. It does not matter how lucrative it sounds, how impressive it appears, or how others might perceive it. If it does not move your purpose forward, it is interference. And interference has no place in the life of a man who is not merely pursuing greatness, but is committed to producing it. This means your yes becomes sacred. Your no becomes swift. You simplify to scale. And in that simplification, you begin to experience a kind of speed that feels like flow. Why? Because you are no longer in mental negotiation. You are already decided. And the pre-decided man cannot be stopped. He is too focused, too principled, too prepared. Next comes your relationship with time. Now, not just as a resource, but as a sacred responsibility. You've tasted what rhythm can produce. You've seen the difference between scattered motion and strategic direction. Now it is time to become intolerant of waste. Audit your hours. Do your systems support your outcomes? Are you building days that multiply energy or dilute it? Are your routines tight but flexible? Are you making time for stillness, for review, for creative thought? Or are you defaulting back to reaction? Because here is the brutal truth. When you stop directing time, it does not pause, it begins to direct you. And it always moves you away from vision. Your calendar must not be a suggestion. It must be a command. And if the block says train, then you train. If the block says write, then you write. Discipline is not in the act. Discipline is in the follow-through. Time is not money. Time is life. And if you are serious about mastery, you must honor it as such. Not by filling every hour, but by owning every moment. Even your rest must be intentional. Even your recovery must serve the mission. This is not obsession. This is responsibility. And responsibility is what separates the starter from the finisher. Now, we revisit thought, the most underestimated power in a man's arsenal. By now, you understand the cost of entertaining weak thinking. You've seen how one doubtful idea, left unchecked, can spiral into paralysis. And so you've learned to manage your inner dialogue with discipline. But management is not enough. The fast-track man must now move from monitoring thought to engineering it. That means writing the inner script. That means choosing the dominant thoughts of the day in advance. That means repeating your affirmations, not until you feel good, but until they become unconscious programming. You must become the architect of your mind. Build internal structures that cannot be shaken by external stress. When pressure comes, and it always will, you default to principle. You fall into discipline, not despair. Because the man who rehearses strength under calm will respond with it under chaos. Train your thoughts like a soldier. Give them orders. Assign them objectives. If one turns traitor, replace it. Your mind is not your enemy unless you leave it unsupervised. Under command, it becomes a weapon more powerful than muscle or strategy. And now we return to the engine, execution. Let this be etched into your core. Execution is God in motion. It is the sacred act of turning ideas into evidence. If you do not execute, you do not believe. If you delay, you are not disciplined. If you plan but never finish, you are fooling only yourself. You must now execute at a level that frightens your old self, not frantically, but decisively. You move without second guessing. You act as if time is watching, because it is. Every unfinished task drains energy. Every postponed action robs you of credibility. Set your goals, break them into actions, assign them to time, and do not miss. The man who moves with that level of consistency does not burn out, he burns brighter. Because he draws strength not from outcomes, but from alignment. The world does not need more ideas. It needs men who finish. And you must become that man. Now we arrive at the final pillar, the one that breathes life into the other four, faith. But this faith is no longer blind belief. It is no longer hope in the unseen. It is certainty built on evidence. You have seen the laws in motion. You have obeyed the structure. You have earned results. And now your belief is no longer borrowed, it is owned. You walk with a calm edge. You build without begging. You trust your process, not perfectly, but relentlessly. You understand that doubt is a luxury for the undisciplined. But you are not undisciplined. You are a builder of law. And law, when obeyed long enough, produces results without fail. This kind of faith is rare. And because it is rare, it is magnetic. Others will start to follow, not because of what you say, but because of what you embody. And this is the next calling, leadership through demonstration. You are now a walking example of what happens when a man gives his life to principle. Not a preacher, but a proof. You no longer need to shout your vision. You live it. Your habits, your pace, your presence, they preach louder than words ever could. And the greatest impact you will make will not be in what you achieve, but in who you show others they can become. So protect your process. Deepen your system. Simplify your day. Strengthen your mind. Finish your tasks. Lead with stillness. And above all, stay faithful to the structure that brought you here. Because the moment you break from it, you return to the common. And you are not common. You are no longer in the crowd. You are on the fast track. You wake with vision. You walk with certainty. You speak with power. You build with principle. You rest with peace. You no longer guess. You no longer wonder. You know that when you act in harmony with these 5 laws, purpose, time, thought, execution, and faith, you are not chasing success. You are becoming it. So let them call you intense. Let them call you obsessed. Let them question your silence, your standards, your separation. They cannot see the outcome yet, but you can. And that sight is enough. Keep building. Keep aligning. Keep obeying the structure. Because when the world finally sees what you've constructed in secret, they will call it overnight success. But you will know the truth. You earned it in every moment they weren't watching. And in that truth, there is freedom.